Hi, I'm Sunny Bottoms, and this is Between Two Levees. Today, my guest is Michael Bosworth of Bosworth Farms near Rio Oso, California. Thanks for joining me, Michael.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So, we're going to learn a little bit about your farming operation. Can you tell us, kind of give us an overview of your farm?
Yeah, so we farm in Yuba and Sutter counties here, just north of Sacramento, primarily growing specialty varieties like basmati and jasmine and sushi rice, things like that.
Give me a little bit of background about kind of an overview of your farming operation, like how you plant your rice to your herbicide program.
Yeah, so we water seed everything. So, after we do all the spring tillage, we level everything with a GPS drag scraper and then put on aqua fertilizer and starter. The aqua is a liquid nitrogen, and then we flood the fields. And after the fields are flooded, we'll put the seed on with an airplane, about 150, 160 pounds the acre. And then generally within a week of seeding, we'll apply our first herbicide.
Okay. So the first herbicide that you apply, is that in the water or is that before you seed?
So in the water, yeah, in general. There are some programs you can put on before you flood, but in general, herbicides are put on in the water, granular. So, our kind of base program is going to be either Butte and Serrano or just Butte, and then that'll be followed up with like a regiment spray, and then Propanil and Grandstand.
Okay.
And then another program is Bolero Ultramax, and kind of the same follow-up there. Yeah.
So we were talking about that today, and for the viewers that are in the Mid-South, the Serrano is a clomazone. And so we usually, we use Command there, but this is a granular clomazone. So as far as what's going on in the water, so the Butte and the Serrano are both granular, so they're put on aerial. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And then the liquid herbicides that go on the field are put on by a tractor, correct?
Yeah. You can fly in certain areas in California depending on what the neighboring crops are. You can apply Propanil by air and regiment, but where we farm, you can't do that. And so, if we're going to put on regiment after Butte and Serrano, that'll go on by ground, and then that's usually followed up 5 to 7 days later with a Propanil and Grandstand application.
Okay, thank you, Michael. We were talking earlier today, and you have other business ventures with basically you grow these different varieties, and then you have another business that where you sell those varieties. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we sell both into food service and retail. So we have our own distribution business where we supply a lot of universities and corporate campuses, things like that, sports arenas, hospitals. And then we also sell into retail, both online and brick and mortar stores, yeah.
Okay, on that subject, I believe we have a question from one of our longtime viewers and first-time callers, Jim Whitaker from McGee, Arkansas. Jim, what question do you have for Michael?
Hey, Michael, I had a question for you today about how your brand was going. I want to know how many rice SKUs, how many varieties you were trying to put on the market, which one you thought was going to be had the most potential, and then any advice you could give a farmer that was thinking about doing a farm-to-fork concept themselves.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. Good to hear from you. The retail business is continuing to grow. Been really focused on it for the last 3 years. We currently have 6 varieties of rice that we're selling in our retail bag. Basmati, jasmine, organic sushi, organic white cow rose, and organic brown cow rose. It kind of looks to me like the organic jasmine is our number one seller, followed by organic sushi. They're both doing well. Different varieties perform differently, and depending on the market they're in. But as far as advice goes, just say figure out how you're going to differentiate what you do and what your product is from other folks that you're competing with, and make sure you really know who your customer is and can figure out how to serve them to the best of your ability.
That's very interesting. That was great advice. One other thing I want to touch on, you brought up organic, Jasmine, and you grow several. We were looking at organic fields today.
Yeah.
Can you just give our viewers a little bit of how do you control weeds in that? I mean, I know in the Mid-South it would be very difficult for us to do that, but kind of give us a rundown on how you farm that organic rice.
Yeah, so on this farm, we've been growing organic rice since 1997. For us, it's water is basically your only tool for managing weeds. So, our program is just keeping it really, really deep, at least for the first 30 days. And you can kill a lot of the grasses with deep water. So we plant heavy on the seed, probably, 30-40% more seed than normal, and just keep the water deep as the rice will handle, and try and drown everything. And other growers after the deep water will come in and dry the fields up to try and take care of the broadleafs there. We haven't done that or had to do that, but that's another tool that a lot of folks use.
So when you're talking about deep water, what's your average flood depth in those organic fields?
Yeah, so we're shooting for 10 or 12 inches, depending on the conditions. If it gets really hot, scum starts and it starts coating the rice plant, you have to make adjustments, but that's what we like to do. It's about that deep.
Well, it's such great information, and I thank you for joining me
on this
episode.
Thanks for coming out to the farm.
Yes,
Yeah.
You twisted my arm to come to California,
Yeah.
so all right, thanks, Michael.
Yeah, thank you.